ability to welcome in new players, regardless of when that's been. We've had guys sent down during the season, guys come down from Edmonton and whatnot, and we have such a strong group here. So the ability to welcome a new player into that environment is it's going to be fun, and we have strong leadership that makes sure that it's an easy transition. I think one of the strongest parts about our year this year has been our belief that development and winning go hand in hand. They're not mutually exclusive. And it's something that we've instilled right from the bat, right off the bat, was to try and do it right every single day. And when you get new players coming into that environment, their job is to augment what is already going on. And as you can see, we've been able to do that throughout the season. So looking forward to seeing the whites of Ryan's eyes.
You talked about development and winning. At the first half of the year, you guys had little glimpses of struggle and success, and then obviously the 17-game win streak. When you look back at the season as a whole, do you find that maybe perhaps that 17-game win streak was more instrumental to this development and winning culture than the average person would think, because it kind of teaches you how to win, it teaches you how to conduct yourself, and that can kind of pay dividends here in the playoffs?
Well, I think that what winning does is it reinforces good habits. And when you're being rewarded for a certain type of behavior or a way of playing, it's easy to continue to go to that well. And I think earlier in the year when we went through a couple rough stretches, we realized the price it took to win games. We realized how you had to manage important moments within games, and we learned a lot of valuable lessons, so that when we went on that 17-game winning streak, we kept doing those little things. We reinforced behaviors, and when you're getting rewarded for it, it's easy to stick with it. What I really liked is when the streak ended, was that there was no dip in our play. It was no big deal. We learned from the game that we didn't win. We came right back at it the next evening and found a way to win a game against a tough opponent. And I think what we learned is that if we play the game the right way, that we give ourselves a chance to win every night. And it doesn't mean you are going to win. There's a lot of things that go into winning games, but if you stay within your structure and play towards your identity, you have the chance to win. And I think our year has proven that to this point.
What does that say about your rookies? Because these are not necessarily all of them first-year pros, but relatively new in their pro careers. They may not be acclimated to the AHL culture just yet they still kind of stuck with it. What does that say about your rookies?
Well, it shows that they're good foot soldiers because they're following our generals, who are our leadership guys like Keegan Lowe and Brad Malone and Josh Curry, Gambardella, Russell, Stan. These are quality individuals who lead the way every day. They show what it takes to be a true professional on and off the ice. And for our young guys to come into that environment, to be welcomed into it, and to follow our leadership, I think it says a lot about them. What we wanted to do right off the bat is instill and ingrain certain habits in our younger players, so that they're learning to play the game the right way. They're not cheating for offense. They're playing within a team concept. And we think those skills that they're developing under that team concept will serve them well going forward individually as they move on in their hockey careers. The biggest thing is we want those players to learn those hard lessons at this level so that they'll be prepared when they get to the highest level. And, we've talked about playing meaningful hockey in the month of May here. We want our players to learn how to win at this level so that when they get up to Edmonton, that it translates at the National League level as well.
And you've said it before, everything at this level now is magnified from a month ago, 2 months ago, and certainly from the start of the season.
Yeah. It certainly is. Now, playoff hockey, the intensity speaks for itself. it's palpable, the intensity out there. And so every play, every moment, every second counts. And I think our young players, as well as some of our more experienced players, have handled themselves the right way. As I said yesterday, they're humble, they're even-keeled, and they approach every day with a business-like attitude and trying to maximize their daily opportunity. And we know that as you move forward in this dance, it only gets harder and harder. So we're preparing ourselves by taking it one day at a time and stacking one good day on top of each other.
I asked about the young players. Let's talk in two in particular, both guys that were named to the AHL rookie team. Let's start with Shane Stewart and what he's brought to the club. I mean, it seems like he's the backbone of your club. I've heard that a lot about him. Just maybe talk about
Yeah,
him.
I think that's a good word to describe Shane, is that he's been the backbone of our team this year. What I've really liked is the step that he's taken in his personal game. He didn't come into this year with a guaranteed position as our starting goalie. He earned the right to play. He earned the right to play more. He earned the right to claim the number one position for the Bakersfield Condors. And he's taken a step in that he's accepted that mantle of responsibility. He's made sure that he can play under tough circumstances, on the road, back-to-back, 3 games in 4 nights. He takes care of himself away from the rink. He gives himself every chance to succeed. And when we've needed him, he's been a rock.
And how about Tyler Benson, 2016 second-round pick, came in with a lot of hype, also kind of was decimated with injuries for a couple of seasons, and then first full year this year, and AHL rookie.
What a pleasure to be around this young man. I've joked earlier in the season that I'm running out of adjectives to be able to describe him. He's a guy who is serious about his craft. He comes to the rink with a purpose. He doesn't just show up to put his equipment on. He comes with a purpose. He wants to be the best that he can be. And I think his health and well-being this year have set himself up for a great season. His skill is obvious to me, but what I don't think he gets enough credit for is the amount of jam that he plays with. His sandpaper and grit and willingness to get to hard areas and to make subtle plays that don't always get appreciated by fans or the media, but that certainly are appreciated and respected amongst his teammates and the coaching staff. He's a heck of a young player for this organization.
Now, both guys are roommates. Does that kind of give some sort of comfortability factor for both of them because they're both getting acclimated to the league, but they're still here together kind of thing?
You talk about the odd couple there, eh, with those two guys. I think they both have unique personalities. Both of them are ingrained and woven into the fabric of the personality of the team. Shane has a larger-than-life personality, and you talk about a guy who his teammates really work hard for. They love this guy. He's just a pleasure to be around. And Tyler's a bit more quiet, a bit more serious and reserved, but he has a good sense of humor about him as well. I think, like I said, I think they're the odd couple when it comes to roommates, but you can't argue with their success this year.